Okay, let's talk about two things you do literally every second without even thinking about them: breathing and walking. But what if I told you they're the most powerful, untapped medicine you have? We're about to dive into how these incredibly simple actions can be turned into some seriously potent tools for your health.
So let's just start with a really direct question. I want you to think about your daily rhythm. You know, that rush to get to work, the shallow breaths you take in a stressful meeting. Are those patterns actually healing you, or could they be subtly working against you? We're going to uncover the hidden power that's right there in these everyday actions.
All right, first up, the unseen medicine. We're going to see how these things we do in the background are actually huge players in our health, directly influencing stuff like our blood pressure and just our overall sense of calm.
And this is the absolute key. Your breath and your pace, they aren't just background noise, not just a side effect of your life. No, they are active forces, constantly sending signals to your cardiovascular system. And the most amazing part is that these rhythms can be retrained. They can be tuned and harmonized to bring your body back to its natural balance.
So let's grab our first tool, your breath. Seriously, think of it as the steering wheel for your entire nervous system. With every single inhale and exhale, you're not just pulling in oxygen, you are giving your body very precise instructions on how to feel and how to react.
Just look at the difference here. It's black and white. Slow, deep breathing, that activates your body's repair mode. It calms everything down by tapping into what's called the parasympathetic nervous system. You can think of that as your body's main braking system. On the flip side, rapid, shallow breathing triggers an alert mode, which, if that becomes your default, places this silent, constant strain on your heart.
So, how do you actually take the wheel? Well, it can be this simple. A regular practice of inhaling for a count of 5 and then exhaling for a count of 5. And look, this isn't about forcing anything. It's about gently guiding your body. Over time, this one simple rhythm can completely retrain your body's go-to stress response.
This is such a powerful way to think about it. You know, we tend to believe our breath just reflects how we feel. Like we get anxious, so we start breathing fast. But the reality is, it's a two-way street. Your breath also shapes how you feel. By consciously changing your breathing, you are actively changing your emotional and physical state.
Now for our second instrument, the language of walking. And just like your breath, the pace you walk isn't neutral. It's constantly communicating with your body, acting as either a calming force or an energizing one.
This whole idea comes down to one key concept: congruence. It's not just about walking fast or slow. The real power, the magic, happens when you align your movement, your breath, and your awareness. When those three things are in sync, that's when things really start to shift.
So what does this actually look like? Well, if you're dealing with high blood pressure, the focus is on that gentle, rhythmical walking to really reinforce a sense of calm. But if you're someone who often feels sluggish, or maybe you have low blood pressure, a brisker, more mindful pace can be exactly what your system needs to get that circulation going.
And this brings us to probably the most important point. This is not a one-size-fits-all prescription. Not at all. It's about learning to become a detective of your own body, adapting your approach based on the unique signals it's sending you. So just start by paying attention. Listen to your body's cues. If you notice you're feeling tense, maybe a little warm, kind of rushed, experiment with slowing down your breath and walking more gently. On the other hand, if you're feeling cold, dizzy, or foggy, try a more energizing walk with some deeper breaths. The goal is just to notice how you feel afterwards.
And ultimately, this is the core philosophy here. This is not about some magic formula. It's about engaging in a practice, a continuous process of listening, adjusting, and helping your body find its own natural equilibrium again.
This whole practice helps you develop what's called sensory literacy, which is really the ultimate goal. It's about moving beyond what books or apps tell you and actually becoming fluent in the unique language of your own body, learning to hear its whispers before they ever become shouts.
This just brings it all together so perfectly. These simple acts of breathing and walking, things we so often just ignore in the noise of modern life, can be reclaimed. And when we do that, they transform from being just automatic functions into these personal, gentle instruments of healing. They truly become medicine in motion.
Think about it. Our schedules, our alarms, our notifications, they are constantly telling us how fast to go. But now you can see just how much influence you really have over your own internal world. So the real question is, Are you ready to take back the controls and reclaim your own rhythm?